Mellow greetings and welcome back to the Mimas greenhouse with me, 54 Bear, the complete idiot in the continuing series of the Complete Idiot's Guide to Stationeers. Okay, the chute system seems to be working and working as intended. It took a ridiculous number of chutes, primarily because I insisted on having the seed sorting down in that building down there. It's not fully closed off yet, or airtight, or filled with an atmosphere. That's going to occur. Oh, we need more poop. I'm actually thinking of putting in some kind of alarm system so that when there is one or more Harveys that are halted because there is no fertilizer in the slot, that an alarm goes off, because I kind of got carried away with other stuff. I was in another part of the base, come back here, and almost half the Harveys were sitting idle. The good news is, as far as I can tell, these perennials don't use up the fertilizer. Yeah, you can actually see that is still the original fertilizer. You know, once you've got one of these growing, the only way you can add fertilizer is to clear, like hold C and click to clear the tray. You don't get anything from that. The entire thing is like thrown away. I have a spare piece of wire there. But yeah, so perennials do not use up the fertilizer. They just seem to continually get the benefit from it, which is good. Bit of a cheese, but I'll take it. The Harveys, as they are, work slowly. It's not the fault of Mick or his program. It's my fault that I am probably abusing the hell out of it. His example has 16 Harveys, and he reckons that's more than enough for anybody. And to be honest, I think he's right. But because we're on Mimas, and because I'm leaning heavily into the gas fuel generator, I need a lot of hydrogen, and whilst I could go out mining for it, I do want to keep the base self-sufficient, or get the base self-sufficient if I possibly can, and that means going into this in a big way. One potential way of doing it is, instead of using Mick's script, just use his script, by the way, is called Harvey 500. It's on the workshop. Thoroughly recommend it. It works a treat. You really don't have to do anything with it. But what I think I might do is I might set up an additional greenhouse that does nothing but grow switchgrass. Because I think that's the best. I haven't actually done a side-by-side comparison, so I don't know. I'm working on assumptions, and assumptions can be quite dangerous, as you know. And anyway, if I do that way, then I could basically read all of the Harveys and all of the trays as a single unit. Using a batch read, make certain that, well, what would I have to... I wouldn't have to make certain that there were seeds. They'd all have to either be seeding if I want to collect the seeds, or all ready to harvest, and then when they're all ready to harvest, it would harvest them all. That's probably the simple way of doing it. You might lose a little bit of individual plant efficiency, but the way it stands right now, it takes about 30 seconds for the Harvey to actually finish processing a single plant. Let's see, do I have any small piles of poop? I put a stacker out there, so the poop arrives in 10 lumps of goop. Turn the sound up for this. Lovely squelch sound. Thankfully it doesn't leave a stain on the window. Anyway, that's it for in here. So I haven't done anything about harvesting the oxygen from here yet. This is still the original atmosphere. It's not warming up or cooling down much. It seems to be fairly stable. So I suspect that the amount of trays there exposing the water to the atmosphere is providing the cooling for it. A manual input here in case I want to feed in some additional seeds. And let's see, this is for potatoes, corn, wheat, and soy. Now the corn one, I only had 3 seeds to begin with, so this sorter is actually sending up the finished corn as well, and because it's using that to plant them. And I'm going to end up with a right-angled airlock there because I kind of screwed up. But I thought windows would be nice. Maybe I might put an elevated floor up on this bit. I don't know. I'm to be honest, I'm absolute shit at design. This, to me, is what I do. I just make ridiculous networks of pipes and chutes and then have to navigate my way around it. This is chewing through the filters quite well, but 16,000 plus moles, so I have a fair bit. That's the equivalent of probably 500 or 600 chunks of ice, maybe even more. I'm not actually certain. How's me water doing? Oh, interesting. Oh, okay, yeah. I put a water drain in there to get rid of the water vapor, and obviously it pulled in a little bit of oxygen, nitrogen, and CO2. Not enough to worry about. You know, these pipes can take liquid pipes can take a bit of gas without a problem. Gas pipes, on the other hand, a little bit of liquid and they throw an instant hissy fit. So this is the fuel I've been making. Got a fair old chunk of it now. Still got lots of volatiles. Still got lots and lots of oxygen. I mean, theoretically, I mean, this is being used to power the gas generator in here. That is the primary source of power at the moment. I do occasionally run the Stirlings. In fact, I think they're running at the moment. You can see, but they are very slow because the temperature has got down to less than 200. It was at 1100. Would have been interesting if I had written a program or something to actually monitor how much or how many units of charge I got out of that big tank, or that tank of hot gas, which is the green one down there. Speaking of which, I should go in there and see what it actually is, because it's getting to the point now where I could think about filtering it out and making use of any useful stuff. So there is a little bit of oxygen. Interestingly, there's no combustion going on because there's 86 moles of oxygen and 400 moles of volatiles. I thought the devs had removed the minimum percentage and we're now basing it just on the number of moles. Maybe they reverted it. Maybe that's a bug. But yeah. Interesting, I could actually put one of the new pipe igniters on there and see if it actually does ignite it, but 188 degrees, or 187 now, Celsius, that is well above the auto ignition point for volatiles when they have oxygen or oxides in the mix. So yeah, I'm generating 730 watts. It's declining rapidly. Yeah, the environment efficiency, well, 23 degrees in here, so yeah, that's going to be fine. I could play around with putting a pump on it somewhere to actually force it in, but then I would have to separate out the return, and this kind of arrangement wouldn't work. The Stirlings would have to get spaced differently. But for the moment, as I said, the gas generator is taking care of pretty much everything. I think I'm ready to start harvesting oxygen from the greenhouse. At the moment, the oxygen pipe is connected to the white one, which goes over there to that white oxygen tank. That's the only bulk oxygen storage I have, and I'm thinking of that as my cheat supply. That's where I went out, mined a bunch of oxide, and denitronized or nitrogenized it, and then mixed it with fuel. Perfectly valid, but not really for a self-sufficient base. So I want to see or find out if it is possible to get a base fully self-sufficient on a greenhouse of this size. But yeah, I am kind of pleased that the chute population thing works. It was a bit of a pain dealing with the logic, because the sorter motherboard interface is absolutely horrible. There are plenty of good scripts out there. In fact, I did use one down here for one of these ones, because I had a whole bunch of things I wanted to sort, and finding the seeds, because there may be a class for them, I just don't know how to access that. So yeah, anyway, that's really all that there is. I did connect the black nitrogen tank here to the nitrogen tank over there. Didn't really need to, but to be honest, it was just an excuse to run some more ridiculously overcomplicated piping. And yeah, why not? Anyway, hope you found it useful, interesting, all of the above. Like, subscribe, even comment if you feel like it. All that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. 54 Bear out.